Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome back to another episode of our Planet Zoo franchise mode Let's Play. We're gonna dive right back into Elite Zoo South. Looking forward to today's episode as we continue to make progress in our sort of northern reaches, as we continue to develop on the sort of elements and aspects that we sort of initiated, I would say, last time, and as we continue to add new animals to our shared space as well. Really quite curious to see just how sort of full that space can get before it starts, needing to be expanded. We're going to be expanding it almost certainly without a shadow of a doubt because we're fitting so many animals in there. I'm sure at one point we're going to reach that tipping point, but I'm just curious about where that tipping point actually lies. So we will keep our eyes peeled for that, of course, but we will be adding a new animal today, diving into a time lapse as well, continuing our sort of beautification from last time, because I don't think the animals will require extra space just quite yet. And I'm thinking next time, y'all let me know in the comments what you think. I'm thinking next time we'll add a new animal. And, again, I've seen your comments with regards to the DLC versus non-DLC animal. It was interesting, actually, again, mentioning it last session brought out some more answers and some more considerations as well. For example, some of y'all don't watch the DLC videos, so, it seems fresh either way, or some who have watched them but still feel like it'd be neat to get them added if there's an idea, if there's a space for them, then to do them sooner rather than not. So that is a potential. I do have a potential DLC animal that I'd like to get in because it shares space with a non-DLC animal, so kind of like two birds with one stone, so to speak. Or, of course, we can build the enclosure for the elephants as well that we were planning on doing right next to our, current space, right? So we kind of stay in the same area. It's all kind of in the same area, truth be told. But yeah, we were thinking of getting the elephants up over here, right? Give them a nice big space to parallel the giant space over here. Or, of course, get the exhibits set up as well that I was planning on doing over here. And I did go and retrieve the list that I was given a long time ago. I took it, I copied it and pasted it as a note. It is the puff adder, the Goliath frog, the Goliath beetle, and the giant tiger land snail. And to that we will be adding the scarab as well, even though it's from like the northern hemisphere. We'll add it in because, again, we do allow the line to get a little fuzzy at times, and those guys will all live over here in a giant bug house, reptile house, house. Let's just call it a house for now. Probably in the same aesthetic, because I mean, look at that. It's so vibrant. I'm absolutely, I love this. And I'm glad to see the reactions to this as well in the comments. I'm glad by and large it was all positive. I don't think I saw any negative comments, if memory serves me right. But I'm glad to see people are enjoying this aesthetic and this vibe that we've got going on over here that I want to, kind of like, bring across the board and establish it maybe down over here as well. Maybe make a little village as opposed to one big house, a little village of these exhibit animals and all that. Could be interesting. But of course, we have from last time our buffaloes still having a hopefully wonderful time in this enclosure. Again, they are quite pleased, if I'm not mistaken. Enrichment is red only because we're still, we haven't unpaused. But that's all looking good. This is all looking good. A couple of trees they're not the biggest fans of. Enrichment, right, we talked about that. Yeah, things are looking pretty good. That's all promising. I think we will actually be able to add a couple more animals. I mean, I wonder... the buffalo is a huge animal. It's a very big animal. And seeing it in context, I'm starting to wonder if we do need to make this space all that much larger. I mean, again, it's over 8,000 meters square, so maybe we don't. Maybe we'll be fine. We'll find out. For sure, we'll find out, but starting to feel more and more confident that we might be okay now that we've got the buffaloes in here, and you can see there, how they scale, so to speak. It was actually suggested, by the way, that I check to make sure that everybody's able to get down here. These guys are. If these guys are able to get down there, then I'm sure the ostriches are able to get down there as well. Let's take a quick look, though. Yeah, because it was strange that only the springbok was making its way down here. Not sure exactly why, but we'll hopefully see more wide-scale use of this space at the bottom there soon. I do want to make sure we extend this, because I see what's going on over here. Well, I don't want to change the shape up over here. Maybe we just kind of wall this up a little bit. Go ahead and pull the train up a bit. That should do the trick and prevent any escapes, hopefully. I think that'll do the trick. We haven't had any yet. I don't think so. maybe a baby ostrich or something, I think was mentioned in the comments, and that might have been where, actually. We'll keep an eye out for it. In fact, do we have a baby ostrich I could take a look at really quickly? Wow, they're so tiny. They're so tiny. Take a look here. Not seeing any escape routes. There would have been one down there, I imagine. I'm not seeing any others. We'll keep an eye out, as we always do, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there, as it were. Now, before I get into our new animal that we're adding today, and before I get into our time lapse and a couple of other things, there's a couple of things I need to tackle. First and foremost, I apologize, but it seems I did miss at least one staff name and sponsor board request as well, so I'm going to go ahead and correct that mistake right now. Again, I apologize for it. Sometimes things do slip by me, even if I've seen them, acknowledged them, noted them down, especially given the current circumstances with how wild things are. It is very possible for things to slip by me, which is why I keep saying, it's like, listen, don't hesitate to just remind me, because I will course correct, of course, if I've missed something, then that's on me. So let me go ahead and head all the way down to add our latest vet. Oh my god, this goes on, doesn't it? And I've actually scrolled past our vets, and that's why I'll never see them if I keep looking for them further and further down. Good for you, party. Good for you. Well done. A grade. S grade there. Alright, security. Where are the vets? Have the vets always been at the top? No way. The vets haven't always been at the top. Have they? I can't remember for the life of me. Well, now, all of our vets are named. However, truth be told, I've been thinking this for a while, we do need more vets to begin with. So I'm actually going to hire another one to get this name in, because it was a vet name request. Pop you down here for now. And let's go ahead and, I guess I got to unpause to have you land so I can actually select you. Make sure you are paid appropriately. And of course, we'll be leveling all of everybody up, at the same rate. But as far as the name is concerned, our latest addition is Crimson Gamer. There we go. Our latest vet, Crimson Gamer, who is going to help us research animals much more quickly. We've been adding them so quickly. I've been thinking about this for a while over the last couple of days. We've been adding them so quickly, we've just not been able to keep up. Now, last session we did manage to complete a couple of research sets, right? The Western Chimpanzee as well as the bonobo. So we'll take a look at them. And that did free up a couple of our vets, but, we're adding a new animal over here basically every session for the next little while, including today. And then when we're not doing that, we're adding a new animal here, or we're adding a new animal somewhere over here. Like, there's a lot going on. So we need new vets. So we've got one new vet there. And Crimson Gamer was also hoping to sponsor one of our animals over here. It won't take very long to get that set up, so let's go ahead and do that in real time before we dive into the time lapse. And as I'm doing this, I just want to mention, I find it hilarious that I thought, I don't know what made me think it, but I thought that I would somehow be able to get another session in before the weekend, and I could participate in that challenge that was happening with the freeing of critically endangered animals. So thank you for providing me with a list that I could reference for to seek those animals out more easily. But unfortunately, again, with things being as busy as they are right now, I just did not get the chance to sit down and get an episode done and get all those animals released to the wild. It's unfortunate, but truth be told, I mean, we're doing all right. The challenge is done. I assume it was completed successfully, considering it was already 100% done when we looked at it on, I mean, when was it? A week ago now, or however long ago it was? Half a week ago now? It was like Tuesday of last week, or Thursday of last week. I don't even remember anymore. So long ago. Let's go ahead and get Crimson Gamer in here sponsoring our cheetahs as well. Again, I put the spaces in because I find on this board, without spaces, it gets very kind of hard to read. So I get the spaces between every letter. I use that to resize text and to make things more legible and things like that all the time with these sponsor boards. Something I don't get to mention often because I don't really, I don't really get a chance to talk about them. It goes by so quickly in the time lapse. But anyway, so that's Crimson Gamer coming in as a vet as well as a sponsor for the cheetahs. Again, thank you very much, buddy, for the support. And again, folks, just want to clarify, this is a perk for members and patrons. I get asked every once in a while, hey, can I get this sponsored or that sponsor? Can I be named after this or that? It is a perk for our channel members and patrons, just as a way to say thank you for the extra support for the channel, for the, as I like to say, for keeping things alive and running smoothly. Just a way of saying thanks. So if you would like to see your name attached to a staff member or as a sponsor for an animal, that's for patrons and members as a way of saying thanks. With that said, there was something I wanted to do today before we actually added an animal, rather as we added an animal. So we are looking at, I'm gonna search the Springbok. Again, my brain naturally just goes towards the Nyala. I don't know why, but I always just jump to let's look up the Nyala. Maybe it's because I like the sound, maybe I like the name of it. I like the word Nyala a lot. It's a very, I don't know, it has a nice feel to it, you know? Got a nice feel to it. Anyway, not the Nyala. Nyala is only compatible with only derives enrichment from the southern white rhino. Looking instead here at the Springbok, which, as we can see, has the sable antelope, already got the ostrich, the black wildebeest, got the buffalo. For me, I think it's between the black wildebeest or the antelope next. I don't know who wins that gamble. I don't know who wins that. Not gamble, but that. What would it be called? That dice roll, I guess. There's a sable antelope as well. I'm thinking they're both such cool animals. I'm thinking the wildebeest. Wildebeest. Why not? We got the buffalo. Let's do the wildebeest next, and then maybe afterwards we'll either we switch gears to a different spot and build a new enclosure, or we get the sable antelope next. Get the gazelle last, so to speak, last of the original set, and then we'll take a look and see if the southern white rhino and the Nyala can fit as well. I want to do the black wildebeest, not just because it seems like there's some order to our approach over here, but also because they seem to be one of the larger, bulkier animals, and I think that's a good test of not just how many animals will fit here, but also how it looks. Visually, how does having these large animals moving around change the feel of the space? And before we move on to what I was originally going to move on to, let's go ahead and adopt a Sheem over here. Actually, a decent male zebra, it looks like. Let's go ahead and scoop you up and send you to our quarantine over here. Again, this was something we were trying to find last session with no luck, but this looks like we finally have had some luck. So over to quarantine for you. And let's go ahead and what I wanted to talk about really briefly before we take a look at the animal is what animals are left for us to add. I'm quite curious. We got the aardvark we need to add, the African elephant, right? This is DLC, African penguin, African wild dog. We've got already got you elsewhere, like not appropriate for the area. Same. I don't know if we'll do the Southeast Asian ones because they don't cross the not the horizon, the equator. I'll see about them. Let's count them maybe separately. The Bactrian camel we got to do. Well, no, we don't. Not the Bactrian camel. For some reason, I thought we got a new camel as well from Africa, but I'm mistaken. So sorry, hold on, my bad. We got the aardvark, the African elephant. I'm gonna skip over DLC animals for now. All good. We've got the black wildebeest we're about to do today. The bongo, right? We don't have a bongo. We need... What else? I'm not counting exhibit animals either. Warthog we've got. The dhole, the dhole is... Oh, the DLC, right? Also not... Well, I mean, I guess they would be appropriate. They're below the thing, but they're DLC, so we're not counting them. The Gemsbok, right? We've got as well... Huh. What else are we looking at here? Rhinos, jaguars, macaque... Well, the Malayan tapir, again, that's a DLC animal. The mandrill, right? We need the mandrill. The meerkat will be getting added, I think, because it's with the... it can share a space with the... oh, what's it called? The aardvark. The name was just escaping me completely. We got the meerkat and the aardvark together. The Nyala will eventually be coming here. The okapi. Alright. We're good. DLC. We're good. Still good. The sable antelope is coming here as well. snow leopard, cassowaries, hyenas, sun bears, the Thompson's gazelle. Alright. And I think that's it from the base game. That's 9 animals. Well, 8 plus 1, the meerkat. That's 9 animals left to add. Am I missing anything? And then, of course, you know, if we want to get the DLC animals in as well, we can get the DLC animals in too. I'm thinking we get at least some of the DLC animals in, especially the Africa DLC ones, because they're so on point with their relevance. I feel like the African DLC animals must be included in this zoo. But that's kind of wild to think about. That's kind of wild to think about. That's why I want to do the countdown, because I was just like, I feel like there aren't that many animals left to add, which is something to think about for Elite Zoo South and its future. Not just as a zoo, but also as a series on the channel. Now, let's take a look at the animal we're actually going to be adding in today, and that is, if you give me a quick second here. Sorry for that interruption there. I got a phone call that I couldn't skip out on. That's been my my life for these last couple of weeks now. It's just like urgent phone calls, having to travel from one end of town to the other urgently. It's been wild. Anyways, I apologize for that little edit there, but I also thank you for understanding if you do, and if you don't, then I apologize even more profusely. Over to the Black Wildebeest, where we can take a look at some information over here before getting the animal in. Because again, I want to see a nice, big, sizable animal added here to see how it impacts opinions of the other animals as well as opinions of the space itself. So, the Black Wildebeest. Oh dear, I don't know how to say this one. Conocatus Nu? I like learn Latin or something. So you think about learning a language is like when you learn the sounds certain letters and letter combinations make, it becomes a lot easier to guess at what a word is supposed to sound like. I got nothing. I got no ideas. I don't even know if, I assume that's a nu. I assume the G is like, it's making like a nasally sound, like a nu maybe? No? I don't know. But I'll look this up afterwards. All right, population in the wild is 18,000. They're of least concern. The black wildebeest, or thing I cannot say, is a large ungulate species native to southern Africa, also known as the gnu, after the distinctive noise they make when alarmed. Interesting. The species is recognizable by a brown-black coat and L-shaped horns, and males can be distinguished from females due to their darker color and larger size. Both sexes have thick, bushy manes and a long horse-like tail measuring between 1.7 and 2.2 meters long. I'm sorry, I can't help but wipe this smile off my face because I'm just like, it's stopping me from speaking normally because I'm just like, I know what the episode title is going to be. Episode title is going to be like a new animal or a new. Oh god, I might double down on Star Wars as well and just call it A New Hope or something. You know what? All right, listen, I just need a second here to write this down because, oh my god, I can't help myself. All right, now that I have that out of my system, both sexes have thick, bushy manes and a long horse-like tail, measuring between 1.7 and 2.2 meters long, 1.06 to 1.21 meters tall at the shoulder, and weighing 120 to 193 kilograms. They keep flip-flopping between like SI units. Black wildebeests are not currently endangered, but they were almost hunted to extinction in the late 1800s, targeted for their meat and leather as well as for sport. Because they fed in the same areas as grazing livestock to whom they could spread disease, they were also considered pests. Thanks to reintroduction from captive populations, black wildebeests are increasing in number, expanding their range, and are no longer endangered. Wow, now there is a success story. You know, these plains are going to be full of success stories, especially if we add the southern white rhino in as well. This is some good positive vibes as well. I mean, yeah, it's been 200 years, but it's still, in the grand scheme of things, 200 years is nothing. Like in the grand scheme of like animals evolving and being hunted to extinction or otherwise eliminated one way or another, 200 years is not a lot, and that's kind of nice to see this kind of a recovery happening. That's positive reading right there. Natural habitat, of course, in southern Africa, South Africa, Eswatini, Lesotho, and Namibia. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we should be good for space and stuff. I really think this will work out much better than I've anticipated previously. Group size, excluding juveniles, is 7 to 32. I guess that's just it. If we want them to have bigger herds, we're going to have to expand, which is probably why, even if all the animals are happy with the space we've given them, we're probably going to expand this anyway. I'm not unwilling to expand this space, just for the record. So 7 to 32, excluding juveniles, is the group size. Male and female bachelor group sizes have a minimum size of 7, but maximum of 16 and 32 respectively. Dominance is territory bulls, female hierarchy within herd. Okay, mating system is polygynous, neutral relation with humans, and guests cannot enter the habitat. Size is 3.63 feet tall at the shoulders for males, 3.5 feet tall at shoulders for females. 19-year life expectancy across the board, and a weight of 374 pounds for males and 308 for females. My sigh was because they went from meters and kilograms to feet and pounds in like 2 pages. Sexual maturity at 4 years, sterility at death, number of offspring per event is 1, gestation of 9 months, interbirth of 12, and reproduction is very easy. So some baby black wildebeests showing up hopefully in no time. Black wildebeest live in large herds comprised of groups of related females and their young offspring, bachelor herds of young males, and dominant bulls who establish territory in the foraging grounds, guarding females moving through his range. We've got large herds with groups of related females and their young offspring, bachelor herds of young males, and dominant bulls who establish territory in the foraging grounds, guarding females moving through their range. So it's similar to the buffalo, I guess, is the implication here, is what it sounds like, maybe? During the breeding season, dominant bulls will search for receptive females on his territory by smelling their urine, who will then allow him to approach and mate with them. A pregnancy lasts for 8.5 months before the female gives birth to a single calf, which will remain close to its mother for a year until she gives birth to her next calf. Yearling males leave and join a bachelor herds, whereas females remain with their natal herd. Yearling, I assume, means 1 year old, like when the next baby comes through, is my understanding there. Maybe I'm wrong. Never heard the term yearling. But, hey, learn something new every day, right? Good stuff. Research status, we got nothing, of course. Oh, actually, hold on. I do want to check, though. Okay, it's all familiar stuff. Interspecies, of course, we're very familiar with by now, and that is that for the reading over here. So why don't we go ahead and take a quick look at the animal trading here. What are we looking for? Animal market. We're looking for the wildebeest. Get ourselves... hopefully some good choices. 10,000 might be a reasonable price actually for that one. Hondo over here, decent stats overall. Fertility is a little bit on the lower side, but the price drop, it's a quarter of the price. All right, Hondo from Frog Co. You shall join us. And Winda over here. Ooh, those are really poor stats. Wow, not the best selection, huh? Not the best selection. I'm thinking Amina over here, maybe? Can I compare to somebody who's in my trade center? No, I can't. Fair enough. Okay, let's go ahead and... there's not a lot of them. Okay, you know what? We'll wait until after the time lapse for the next one. Hondo, I want to go ahead and send you to our quarantine, though. If I can find it. Just so that, you know, we don't have to remember to do it after the time lapse is done. And then we'll see after the time lapse if there is a better female option and maybe a few female options, right, to get the population right. Because I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was 307 to 32. So we actually need quite a large number of them. Only one female. Oh, only one male though. Only one male. All right, we'll see what's available after the time lapse and 7 of them. I mean, again, it's not going to take up that much space, so I do wonder if they'll be okay. Well, we'll find out soon enough. But now, folks, without further ado, I believe we're good to go. Yeah. So, folks, it's time lapse time. Alright, folks, today's time lapse is actually a relatively short one, to be honest. I feel like it's sort of the result of having all the pieces of the puzzle on the table, so to speak, and it's just a matter of kind of putting them in place. I didn't realize how smoothly today was going to go. I've grown to expect such a struggle for myself on a personal level with certain types of time lapses, and I expected this to take forever, but it actually worked out pretty smoothly, and I was able to establish the sort of continuation of this art style in this area of the zoo. However, I do still have some problems that need sorting. I touch on them a little bit after the time lapse, so I'll leave that to future Party Elite. But overall, you'll see some good progress over here, I think, with regards to these shop coverings and the washroom covering as well. With regards to the train station, again, I add more to this after the time lapse, but I just want to mention now as well. I figured, well, you know what? I've already got all the stores covered up, so I'll go ahead and I'll do the train station. And I sat down to the train station, and I made a little bit of progress, and I end up undoing it all. You'll see it happen. I end up undoing it all because it just felt a little generic. It felt like I was being it felt like I was just doing for the sake of doing. And one thing I don't like is being disingenuous, and that felt very much not elite. You know, it felt very not elite zoo company, and I was just like, no. We gotta, even if I end up doing the exact same thing when we eventually build up the train station over here, even if it's the exact same thing, I want to make sure that it is done intentionally. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I just threw it together. I never want that to be the case. So I will do a bit of backtracking at the end of the time lapse with regards to the train station. You'll see a little bit of work, but we will be pulling back just because I want to make sure it's special. I want to make sure it's done right. You know, I look at some of the other stations we have at the zoo and at Elite Zoo North, and we spend a lot of time and effort on those, and why should these be any different? So just a personal hang up, I suppose. I have a personal issue with phoning it in. Can't do it. and so I had to undo some work today. But I wanted to get the train station done. I just wasn't expecting to actually get to it today, so I was completely unprepared. And I was like, oh no. We'll get to it eventually though. But I do think next time I might want to focus on a different area. I might want to focus on a new enclosure. I might want to expand this one. I'm not sure which one exactly, and I know I go back and forth a little bit, and I mentioned it a couple times during this episode, but mentioning it again for those of you that only watch the time lapse. I'm torn between doing the joint meerkat aardvark enclosure, expanding this enclosure that's right next to us over here, and building the African elephant enclosure. I'm not sure which one I want to do first. I'm kind of drawn towards the meerkat / aardvark one because I've got some plans for it in my mind, and I think I would like to execute those guys first. I'm not 100% set in stone, not 100% certain, but just where my head's at right now. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below, of course, and I'll take those into consideration as well when the time comes to decide. But I do think next session I want to try and move away from this aesthetic in space, just so when I come back to it, it's with a fresh mind, fresh set of eyes, and you know, just a reinvigoration, so to speak. I'm hoping the next episode will be out at a regular, you know, sort of regular scheduled time. But again, as you are hopefully aware, if you're not aware, then you know, check out the community tab on the channel. But going through a lot of like stuff right now that takes me away from my computer, takes me away from my desk, takes me away from my home, and has me kind of running around, and it's throwing the schedule for a loop. But I will be keeping an eye out on the comments to get an idea of what people are interested in for the next time we come back. Now, one big new thing today is actually the naming of this enclosure. I had this name suggested to me a long time ago, but I finally got the chance to actually execute on that today. Kept slipping my mind. I was going to do it last session, but I'd ended the time lapse. I'd moved on, and then I'd realized, wait a second, I didn't name the place, so I didn't make it part of the, you know, the official naming from a mechanical perspective either. However, we are going with the name Nyati Plains. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, so feel free to correct me. But Nyati, if memory serves me right, is the Swahili word for buffalo. So it's sort of a reference to Yanasi Plains. You know, you got Nyati Plains, we got Yanasi Plains, sort of in a similar-ish, very-ish location too. I quite like the tie-in. So yeah, Nyati Plains has been established. We've got a bit more of the beautiful, you know, colorful, vibrant art in place as well. And with a few tweaks and adjustments here and there, this is going to be it for the time-lapse, more or less. Again, I do believe now is when I engage with the train station, much to my regrets. I think you'll see that in just a moment's time. But that'll be pretty much everything you can see me right now. I was like, do I work on the exhibits? What do I work on? Oh, I should work on the train station. Like you can like see my thought process there. That's exactly where my head was at. I did not expect to be done all this other stuff so smoothly. Well, pretty smoothly. Again, I'll point out some of the issues after the time lapse, and you'll see what I mean by you know, relatively smoothly or fairly smoothly. Trying to come up with some interesting shapes and ideas, but you know, that takes time to sit down and develop some ideas. So folks, that's it for this time lapse. Hope you had a good time. For now, back to regular speed. All right, folks, we are back from the time lapse, and you know, it was actually a slightly shorter one than usual. I was really expecting this to take a lot longer to do, and I guess I can happily say that it didn't take me forever. Did not take as long as I'd anticipated. I guess that's the helpful part of having the like blueprints and stuff set up. It was a lot smoother to do. Though I did run into some issues that I just couldn't figure out any solutions to. I think I'm just not in the right headspace. I'll be completely honest with you guys. But I want to try and figure out how to sort this thing out, and it's just no ideas were coming to me, and it's really quite a bummer because like I don't want to have to shift everything up forward. I mean, we could, right? That would be the not easy solution, but that would be the obvious, I guess, solution is the right word I'm looking for. I don't know. Is that the right word I'm looking for? I don't know anymore. But what I could do is I could go ahead and deselect all these. Wonder if I want to deselect this as well, I think, right? Because we don't want this to pull forward with us. And with all these guys selected, we could shift ever so slightly forward, like the front edge of these guys, basically, right? And that buys us a bit of time. Oh, I had a bunch of these selected. Ugh. Okay. It's gonna be a bit messy to execute, because the thing is, like, there's so many intertwined pieces that do and do not work together. Like, let's see if I deselect you and you and you and you. No, I've already deselected you. The highlighting has always been very difficult to read. It's like, I can never tell what's actually been selected or deselected at times, especially depending on the color of the object that you're selecting and or deselecting. Am I the only one who feels that way? I can't be the only one who feels that way. Especially because of like how, like, you know, if I line this up perfectly, it's like, oh, is there a separate piece there? Have I got this selected or not? Like, it just throws me off. I think that's better. If I nudge you forward, yeah, it's better. Yeah, but you can see how, like, I'm gonna do something over here, and then over here, sure, we'll have plenty of room, maybe, but over here we'll just have a sliver of a gap. I don't know. I gotta figure this out though. I gotta figure out what to do to kind of seal this off in a way that actually works. Because I mean, sure, I can always pull this over, and that's not terrible, but this doesn't look right. You know, it doesn't look like people aren't actually gonna be coming through over here. You can't fit through that, can you? I don't know. I gotta sort this out though. Go ahead and copy this thing over just because we can. And apart from that, you might have seen I did start working on. Whoops! I did start working on the station a little bit, but I wasn't quite liking it. I think I'll have to come up with a new pattern and stuff for the station. I don't want to just repeat the same thing over and over again. And also over here, it started to get a little funky around the doors and stuff. And then as I was kind of working away at it, I realized, you know, if I just kind of slap these guys on, we're not going to get a proper elite execution. It's just going to be like, whatever, yeah, I have these pieces, let's throw them on top, and it'll be fine. It wouldn't be something like this, you know, like this. I'm really quite pleased with how we built this station over here. Not a train station, sure, but I'm really pleased with how we built this space over here. And how it has some, like, it has personality of its own. It has an intent. You know, it exists for a reason. It was made this way. It wasn't thrown together. And I feel that way about our stations at Elite Zoo South as well. So I would like to feel that way about our stations at Elite Zoo North. And I would like to feel that way about our stations at Elite Zoo South as well. Like this as well. Again, you know, it's not like we didn't just throw this together. It's not just a bunch of like pre-existing shapes that were like, yeah, whatever, well, this will be the station. No, this is an intricate, you know, bit of architecture as well that we still need to finish off. I mean, again, I might just put down those wooden pieces. They just weren't fitting perfectly, but I might find there might be some different pieces available now that I can fit in over here, and we'll make it work. But like, these are all, you know, complex structures. It'd be a shame to just kind of like rush this one. We got this one up over here as well. Like, there's a lot going on, so it'd be a shame to just, you know, I felt like I was rushing it a bit too much. So we'll give it its time. However, I did, man, something just occurred to me, and now it slipped my mind again. It occurred to me while we were here, looking at these stations, looking at the... Oh, right, yes, that's what it was. I completely forgot last session to assign somebody to mechanics research, didn't I? No, I didn't. Okay, I felt like I'd forgotten it. Oh god, it's all such a blur. It is weird. It's weird how much of a blur everything is right now. But okay, cool. We have research going on because there are some pieces in the new DLC that would be quite nice to have access to as we continue to develop some of these spaces. But with all that said and done, with all that wrapped up, I think we can unpause now. Well, really quickly, let's just take a look at animal trading again and see if there aren't any new wildebeests. Female specifically. I mean, I could just grab a bunch of them, I suppose. Oh, that's... Ooh, okay, that's not bad. These are the best stats we've seen so far. These aren't bad either. Good stuff. That's why I like checking on both sides of a time lapse. Because, you know, you never know what'll come up. Got some over here for some money as well. Again, all the females from Frontier Zoo, it's not the end of the world. As long as the male is from a different zoo. I mean, again, hold on. First of all, Frontier Zoo is not a zoo anyway. It's just a generic name given to stuff that's been generated by the game. But I don't have to be careful about what I was getting at. So I don't have to be careful about which zoos these folks are from because our male is from a different zoo, and so we don't have to worry about inbreeding or anything like that. Well, hopefully our male is from a different zoo. All right, that's quite a few of them. Hopefully that's enough to, you know, give them a good time. One male, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 females, 2, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, cool. Over to animal market? No, over to animal storage. Right, I guess I have to have only these guys selected because if I select you, send to zoo becomes, sure, becomes cancel move. Whoa, not what I meant. There we go. Over to quarantine. Off you go. And so that's 1 plus 5 is 6, is it? 2, 4, 5, yes, 6. So I think we actually need one more, don't we? Yes, we need one more. One more female wildebeest. I feel like G-Day is not a bad pick. Sure, let's go with you. And send you into the quarantine as well. It'll definitely get clogged up because we've got like 7 animals coming here at the same time. Well, 8 actually, including our male zebra. And then we'll get them all delivered. But we've unpaused. We're moving forward. We're going to see how these guys enjoy the space. Again, this is a good test. This is a good test now because the numbers are about to, you know, like what, double or triple in here? Double, not triple. Triple's unrealistic. Let's be real here. But while we're waiting for quarantine to come through, let's take a look at some of these fun facts. Let's start with the bonobo. They were added first. The bonobo fun facts that we finished researching last time. Fun fact number 1. Bonobos use tools such as stones as hammers and have been known to fashion sticks into spears using their teeth. Yes, very fascinating stuff. I know this already, but this is a very fun fact. It's a very cool fact. Their use of tools is fascinating. Very impressive stuff. They're so cool. Fun fact number 2, bonobos have very high empathy and will help stranger bonobos even when there is no reward for themselves. That's interesting. That's interesting. To see that animals have that sense of empathy. Yeah, that's because I recently heard about a study where it was found that dogs who appreciate receiving a treat would not reciprocate giving a treat to their human like counterparts. Like I'm trying to remember now. This is a little fuzzy in my head, but the study was basically dogs are obviously happy when a human on the other side pushes the button, so to speak, to give them a treat, whereas if the dog is given the opportunity to be the one pushing the button to give the human the treat, the dogs are less likely to do that. They don't really care about engaging with the button to give a treat to their counterpart, even though they are aware that the counterpart is pleased at receiving a reward or receiving a gift or whatever you want to call it, a treat. Sorry. So I thought that was kind of funny. I literally only found out about it like this weekend, I think. It was just in conversation, so I don't know all the super like detailed elements of it. But I thought that was pretty funny, and then to have this fun fact presented shortly after is well, certainly fun. Interesting. Fun fact number 3. Bonobos communicate through many expressions, gestures, and vocalizations. and are the most vocal of the great apes, excluding humans. Ah, I like that. I like that they included that. All right, fun. I like it. I like it. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. Fun fact number 4: bonobos are very uncomfortable with conflict, and competing for food or mates is likely to be solved by sharing rather than fighting. Well, that's interesting. For a few reasons, that is interesting. Well, hang on a second. Yeah, they're promiscuous animals, right? I get that makes. They're extremely promiscuous animals. In fact, if I recall correctly. All right. Averse to conflict. How about that? That's interesting. Yeah, these fun facts are 4 for 4 so far. This is good. Fun fact number 5: bonobos are very physically affectionate to their counterparts and are the only species other than humans that tongue kiss. Hang on a second. Okay, these fun facts are great. I'm like, what? The only one of these that I've known before is number 1, and that's only because, again, my love for this like group of animals in general. Also, I feel like this is the most commonly known of the fun facts, but 2, 3, 4, and 5 are what they increasingly threw me off my balance there. That's hilarious. That's very interesting. This is a good set of fun facts. Oh, that's so. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. Learned a lot today. All right. Quarantine passed. Excellent. Go ahead and get them all. Well, actually, I should just do this. That'll let me get Hashim over here. Moving over to your habitat there. Go. You're good. You're good. Okay, excellent. Let's get everybody else. Can I select all and then deselect Hashim? There we go. Much easier. And move all of you to the soon-to-be-named Nyati Plains. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, then please feel free to correct me, of course. But let's go ahead and pop you into Habitat 50. I got this name suggestion a while ago, actually, and I kept meaning to implement it, but just slipped my mind last time, especially. Last time was when I was like, all right, this time lapse we're gonna get the Nyati Plains named, but then it slipped my mind. I didn't realize I hadn't done it during the time lapse, so I didn't want to make it official. But here we are. Nyati Plains is official, as is an upcoming baby pygmy hippo. Offspring imminent. I love that word choice, imminent. There's like a certain like threat level associated with the word imminent. Oh man, this wayfinding is nice to see when the sun's setting and stuff. / when the sun has set. We're gonna have to do a lighting pass sometime soon as well. What do y'all think? Do we do an animal next? If we do one, do we do it in these plains? Do we add the elephant or perhaps the aardvark and meerkat, or do we perhaps do a beauty pass, or like a lighting pass specifically? Because it's starting to get, we're starting to get dark pockets again. What do y'all think? Let me know. Oh no, stop. I'm too late, aren't I? Damn it, I'm too late. God. Slip past me. I'll monitor fighting due to overcrowding still. Thought we, cleared them out over here. Go ahead and move a lot of you elsewhere. I think we're probably going to want to do a trade session sometime soon. I think we're going to have to do a trade session sometime real soon. Because, yeah, we have more room in the trade center. But, like, it takes, an hour to trade out 60 animals. It takes time to trade out 60 animals. And I want to make sure if we do a trade session, if we do a live stream to trade session or something, it's not going to be, like 4 hours of us trading animals, but it's a hour, chill, hang out, maybe plan a little bit, and also get some trading done. That's what I'm thinking, at least. Low welfare over here. Why did you manage to sneak out, or what's going on? Why are you so upset? Social stress? Stress, yes indeed. Why? Sometimes not knowing what's going on. To me, that's the biggest thing with this game, is I just don't know, sometimes the answers are just not presented and you have to kind of guess at it, which I understand is okay, sometimes how animals work. well, not sometimes. It's always how animals work when you can't tell what's bothering them. But at the same time, it's just like sometimes it's just like, but nothing's changed. Why are you all of a sudden displeased when nothing has changed? Oh, look at that. Oh, what an interesting shape they have. It's just like the silhouette has a very interesting shape. Very pointy. Very pointy. I like it. The newest addition to our zoo. Oh, what a nice like silhouette though. Wonder if I can frame a nice nice shot over here for the thumbnail. Guess that animal. Guess that beast. Really like the backlit kind of look. We'll have sun soon enough, and we'll see them in a proper light, I think. Almost terrifying to look at in the dark. Like, can you imagine like turning a corner and then seeing one of these with those horns just staring at you, and you're like, it's pitch black because it's backlit, and you don't know what to expect. Oh, you know, one thing I wanted to do was make these less steep. This was something that was suggested because we got these really funky animations going in and out of the water. Why don't we go ahead and do that, actually? I always worry about this kind of stuff because it can so easily break sometimes. But let's go ahead and pause for a second. Get the water gone first. Make sure we're still able to... Nope, see, this is... The animals, I don't think, are the ones causing the problem. All right, let's see. Removed. Okay, pause. Remove water. On water? Yeah, see, we can't drop it in where it was before. This is another one of those things that I just don't understand. Just don't understand. What, right, it's because I gotta lift this thing up, right? Like, if you're able to exist, then I should be able to remove and add you. Anyway, if I can find this thing without having to move the earth. There we go. Added barrier. Raise you up. That, I think, will do the trick. Down here. Rain, remove water. Yeah, that looks like the issue. Alright, cool. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and smooth it out. Now, as I'm doing this, I actually have a quick question for all y'all watching. Jurassic World Evolution 2, of course, just got announced at E3, planned for a release later this year. Now, previously, we had this conversation about Prehistoric Kingdom, but Prehistoric Kingdom, I mean, it had its, like, beta period and stuff, and then, and I think now we're kind of just waiting for it to release, right? I don't know if there's going to be more stuff planned. I have no insight, so I'm not like, being all cheeky about it. I have no insight. I don't know if we're going to get early access or what's happening there. Or if there's going to be like a beta period or anything like that I'll be able to cover. But what I'm getting at is, are you, let me know in the comments, are you interested in the new Jurassic World game? And if you are, let me know down below. Because I have to consider, obviously, it's an upcoming game that I'm excited to check out. However, because of the type of game it is, and like, again, the same thing as I was saying with the Prehistoric Kingdom, with how involved recording an episode can be, I would not be able to do both Planet Zoo and Jurassic World Evolution at the same time, probably. Not saying with 100% certainty, but almost certainly I would not be able to do both of those at the same time. So I'd have to sort of adjust my schedule, and I mean, it's kind of funny. I was looking at the animal counts, you know, just earlier today, if you'll recall, right? We don't have that many animals left to add, excluding the DLC animals, right? So we could actually get all of the base game animals added in, plus some of the DLC animals, of course, again, like the meerkat and all that kind of stuff, because they're relevant to like the aardvark and whatnot. But we can get all those animals added in time for the release, I think, of Jurassic World Evolution 2. And then we can kind of hop over to that when that releases, and it will be kind of up to date with a new title from Frontier. And then, you know, when more DLC comes for Planet Zoo, we'd obviously revisit Planet Zoo and add animals back, add animals in and stuff. I don't know. It's something I'm mulling over. Obviously, it's something that has to happen constantly. I have to keep thinking about like, okay, well, what comes next? What happens next? And of course, You know, I like people's opinions. I like to know what people are thinking, because I often get questions about, like, oh, when are we opening the next zoo? What's the next zoo going to be? And truth be told, I mean, up until now, and even still, I should say, it's like it's an unknown. I don't know what the next zoo is going to be, but again, I guess truth be told, it's very possible that the next zoo is not going to be a zoo at all. It might be Jurassic World. It might be a Prehistoric Kingdom. It might be something else. Only because we're starting to run out of you know, grand schemes. I mean, again, we can do Elite Zoo West, Elite Zoo East. Like there are thoughts like that, of course, but I feel like it would be kind of more of the same, maybe. It's something for me to mull over, and then realistically as well, as we go further and further along, there are newer and newer titles to consider as well. For example, you know, Prehistoric Kingdom, or Jurassic World Evolution 2, or others like it. You know, who knows what might happen between now and then. Now, again, I'm not saying, oh yeah, by the way, I'm not saying anything like this is the last episode of Planet Zoo or anything like that. Don't worry, nothing that drastic. However, this is something I have to take into consideration. Obviously, is well, yeah, what comes next. There's some titles releasing very soon. I know from like a scheduling perspective, there are just, you know, physical human limitations to the kind of stuff that I can produce and how much I can produce, and of what kind and when, and to good quality especially. So it's something I want to openly discuss. I want to be forthcoming with my plans and with the potential needs as far as scheduling adjustment stuff come up. Again, maybe, big maybes, right? Saying anything's set in stone. I'm not saying anything's definitely happening or anything like that, but in case changes do have to happen, I like knowing people's opinions so I can take those into account when I'm making decisions, of course. Because, I mean, yeah, I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys feel. I want to know where people's heads at. Now, I made a mistake over here, not checking how high the water level was before I started making these adjustments. I don't think I can undo far back enough, but this looks okay. This looks like it will work. This looks right even, I should say. Go ahead and lower this. But yeah, so let me know in the comments down below how you feel about A, Prehistoric Kingdom, B, Jurassic World Evolution 2, and C, well, Planet Zoo. I assume you enjoy Planet Zoo because you're over here, but I should say not and C, but A and B in relation to Planet Zoo and its ongoing kind of presence on the channel. Obviously, still happening, still got lots of animals to add. Again, I don't want to scare anybody into thinking it's you know, Planet Zoo is done or anything like that, but just thinking to the future. I like to plan ahead. I think it's important to plan ahead. I like to stay ahead of the game. I like to make sure that when the time comes to make a decision, that's not when I'm asking questions. I don't want to ask questions when I need to be making decisions. I want to ask questions before I need to make the decision, so that when I make the decision, I've already got all the answers, you know? Hopefully that makes sense. Look at that sunrise. Look at the reflections. God, it's such a beautiful game. Look at that. Oh my god. You kidding me? Just with the reflections and everything? Oh my lord. Absolutely beautiful. Actually, where are the wildebeest? Bring me a wildebeest. This is the most animal variety I've had in a single enclosure. They're all just like huddled up over here. They seem to like the space well enough, so there's that. I don't want to see them in this light. Like reflecting none of it. Light, that is. God, they are so detailed, aren't they? Wait, why is that donation bin on the inside? Hang on a second. Like, that's weird. Why is there this vibrant spot of color? Oh, let's put this on the outside there. Sure. Spend some time with these animals. You like barely see them. I guess they're still pretty dark. I should check. Super happy with everything. Super happy with everything. Not enough hard shelter. Okay, that's good to know. That's one of the first things I imagine would start causing some issues. We need some more hard shelter. Happy with plants overall. Just a couple of issues. Enrichment. Super happy. All right. I mean, hey, they're looking pretty pleased, I guess. It is just a matter of disease, common warthogs. Vets have been called. Yeah, something's wrong with the common warthogs. Something is up with the warthogs. Something is up with my notifications as well. I'm gonna get a nice look at these guys in this beautiful lighting. Look at the lighting on the fur. It's just that sheen to them. And wildebeests are... They've always been funny looking to me. But still, that silhouette, it's quite a nice silhouette. Guests are coming through. I think guests are having a good time at this location because it's so close to the train station, and also it's got... oh, look at that. It's so close to the train station, and also it's got a lot of animal variety, right? Let me check something here, because I haven't... Nope. Alright, I was really hoping this would be more like depth of field and all that kind of fancy stuff to get those really nice shots. A really nice photo mode would be a welcome addition, I would say. But look at that light falling on the eye. I like it. I like it a lot. That's nice. Anyway, I wanted to check on the Nile monitor over here. And I wanted to check on... That's not the enclosure either. Where's the gate? There's the gate. Why are there a couple of you in boxes? Because there aren't. Ahmad and Yazid. Ahmad and Yazid are not even in this list. Well, hopefully when we restart the game, that'll be gone. Vet has been called. Vet has been called for the warthogs. Okay, excellent. So hopefully they'll be taken care of. Fingers crossed. Unpause again real quick. More hard shelter. I do wonder if I can expand some of the covering down over here, perhaps. You know, like, rather than do this, have like a... I'm just planning this out for now. Have like a... cave kind of a thing. I don't know if these animals don't really use caves. Oh, did you see that shadow? Oh man, that was amazing. I love that spot in this enclosure. I love that spot. Yeah, if we get rid of these three, right, and we build something like this, we'll smooth this out and stuff. Of course, we'll make this work a bit better. Like if I do this kind of a thing and kind of nudge it down a little bit. Don't know if that'll even count as hard shelter, to be honest, because it's not really it's not sticking out far enough, I don't think. But that's going to be the first thing I think to force our expansion, is the need for more hard shelter. That might help a little bit. Let's see what these guys are saying. Hard shelter, you're fine. You're not fine. All right, we're gonna have to add more. Trying to figure out exactly how, because we have enough room to do it over here. We can probably add some more depth to some of these spaces. We can probably add some more depth to some of these spaces. We can make this work, and those will act as hard shelter. But we of course have to be careful not to, you know, ruin the look we have going. After all, we are willing to expand this space. We are willing to expand the enclosure. I'm glad they're enjoying the space, though. I'm glad we didn't need to, like, reinvent the wheel for each of these animals. I was really concerned that would be the case, but I guess that's why, you know, they're clumped together, because they can enjoy the same space. And if you take a look at the space, actually, again, there is still so much room left. I mean, again, I might eventually have to expand this for adding another, what, 3 or 4 animals here. But as far as the terrain is concerned, we have enough space. We just don't have enough, again, stuff like hard shelter. So maybe I build a little like shed type thing over here like we had at Yanasi Plains up at Elite Zoo North, right? We build something artificial for them to tuck under, or we build more caves and stuff. Like, what do animals use as hard shelter in the plains? You know, don't they just like tuck under trees and stuff? But we have coverage limitations. So I'm really curious, and maybe I need to do some research. If you have any thoughts or opinions or knowledge on that front, then let me know. When living on the plains, what does an animal use to provide hard shelter? Because yeah, you're a grassland animal. We get like a rock formation up over here, making a again, it would basically be a cave, right? Might as well just do that down over here, give them a place to hide and be away from prying eyes. I don't know, but let me know your thoughts. I will do some research as well, because it's one of those things that I always kind of struggle with, you know? I always kind of struggle with it. Look at these crowds, though. We've got some decent numbers in this area. People buying stuff, people eating, drinking, probably using the washroom as well, checking out these animals. Loving it. I'm loving it. But folks, this is where we're going to call it a session. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, you know what to do. Let me know down below. Remember as well to let me know your thoughts with regards to the conversation that was just kind of bringing up, whether it's Prehistoric Kingdom or it's Jurassic World Evolution 2. I'd love to hear your thoughts on, you know, similar but different games, because they're park management games, they're animal management games, but a very different kind of animal, right? And I can understand some folks are into that, some folks are not. In fact, when we had this conversation previously about Prehistoric Kingdom, there was definitely, you know, both sides of the coin. I'm curious where people stand now, because it's something I do have to start considering, especially because I think Jurassic World Evolution 2 is quote-unquote right around the corner later this year, right? So it's something I have to start figuring out, and like I was saying earlier, I would love to know your thoughts as I work towards figuring it out. Now again, if we do make a transition to one of those games, it doesn't mean that we'll never come back to Planet Zoo, of course. There will be DLC, we will be covering that DLC, we'll be checking out new animals, we'll be doing custom builds and all that kind of fun stuff as well whenever there's updates. So, you know, keep that in mind as well when you're sort of sharing your thoughts. But folks, that is it for this session. I hope you had a good time. As always, a massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big ol' thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.